All right, once again, we are talking about all those things that make life on Earth possible. Once again, this is a video in a series of other videos, so make sure you watch the others before you sort of engage with this one. We're on number 5 right now. Number 5 is we have a large moon that stabilizes our wobble. So the Earth has a really big moon relative to the size of the Earth, and that sizable moon helps keep the Earth stable, which helps keep things like climate stable as well, at least for the most part. So go ahead and watch the video, take notes, pay attention, and be ready to discuss in class. And I will see you soon.
Like I've said several other times, this is like a preview unit on the origins of biology here on Earth. Bio is the study of life. Well, where did life come from? So we're going to do it a little bit different today. I'm still going to introduce our criteria, our reason number 5 for what makes life on Earth possible. But then I'm going to actually read to you from something that I think captures this story even better than I could. So, we're still going to look at our preview slide. So number 5, we have a big moon to stabilize our axial wobble. I'll read. Earth is tilted with respect to the sun and teeters as it spins. This tiny wobble can shift the climate from hot to icy every 41,000 years, and might vary more without the moon's stabilizing pull. So, just to reiterate before I begin, the Earth is not this perfect spinning orb in the solar system. It moves a tiny bit, and you'll see that in a sec. But without the moon, it would move even more potentially. And that would be catastrophic for the development of not just life, but definitely for the development of complex life. It'd be pretty hard to live on a planet that had massive ice ages every couple hundred or every couple thousand years. So what we're going to do is a little different. I'm going to read to you from this book. This book by Bill Bryson, as you can see, is called A Short History of Nearly Everything. And it's an older book. It came out in about 2002. So it's approaching 20 years old, but it is still one of the best books on not just science, but the history of science as well. And this book, more than almost any other thing, at least any other single thing, is the reason I teach science. And if you are a reader, or you want to try to be a reader, or you're interested in a lot of the stuff that we talk about in this class, I highly recommend you try to get a copy of this book. I will loan you a copy if you want. But anyway, I'm going to read from this book, and here we go. We're a twin planet. Not many of us normally think of the moon as a companion planet, but that is in effect what it is. Most moons are tiny in relation to their master planet. The Martian satellites of Phobos and Deimos, for instance, are only about 10 kilometers in diameter. Our moon, however, is more than a quarter the diameter of Earth, which makes ours the only planet in the solar system with a sizable moon in comparison to itself. Except Pluto, which doesn't really count because Pluto is itself so small. And what a difference that makes to us. Without the moon's steadying influence, the Earth would wobble like a dying top, with goodness knows what consequences for climate and weather. The moon's steady gravitational influence keeps the Earth spinning at the right speed and angle to provide the sort of stability necessary for the long and successful development of life. This won't go on forever. The moon is slipping from our grasp at a rate of about 1.5 inches a year. In another 2 billion years, it will have receded so far that it won't keep us steady, and we will have to come up with some other solution. But in the meantime, you should think of it as much more than just a pleasant feature in the night sky. For a long time, astronomers assumed that the moon and Earth either formed together or that the Earth captured the moon as it drifted by. We now believe, as you will recall from an earlier chapter, that about 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object slammed into Earth, blowing out enough material to create the moon from the debris. This was obviously a very good thing for us, but especially so as it happened such a long time ago. If it had happened in 1896 or last Wednesday, clearly we wouldn't be nearly so pleased about it. Now, one thing I will do is I will put a copy of that passage onto Google Classroom so you can take a look at it yourself and read it if you wish. I might even put a copy of that entire chapter that it came from, because the chapter actually links up pretty well with this series of lectures. It's a little bit different, but you can see that even in 2018, when National Geographic produced that article, it follows along in the same footsteps as Bryson talked about in 2002. So I will leave you with that, and as always, I will see you next time. Thank you.